it's Sheree G. Welcome back to my channel. To all of my subscribers, a special shout out to you and a special shout out to any of the content creators who may be listening to this video. So I want to go back to the 100th episode celebration for Love and Marriage Huntsville and the particular scene where they dropped, a sneak peek for season 6, and the particular segment is where Lou and the guys, Marceau and Martel, get into it. But before I do, keep in mind that the views expressed in this video are alleged, of my opinion, and those who choose to comment below in the comment section, and it's all for entertainment purposes. So, guys, Lou went off on Marceau and Martel, and in my opinion, he had every right to do so. And so I want to go back to how the whole thing started. The whole thing started when Tiffany asked Sheree how she felt about dating a man, Martel, whose reputation preceded him, whose reputation as a cheater preceded him. And then Sheree said to her, I watched the show, you cheated too. So I want to stop right here before we get into the argument with Lou and the guys. We all know that Tiffany is going to start the stuff. She's going to ask the questions. This is her character. This is what she did, on the last season. And we knew that she was going to come into the season doing the same thing. And she asked a question that we all wanted to know the answer to. Sheree, being a woman in her 50s, dating a man like Martel, who has the reputation that he has, given all of the toxic type of relationships that allegedly she's been in before this. So that's the question that all of us were wondering, is how is she dating Martel? And the fact that she says to Tiffany is, I watched the show. Well, that's the reason that makes that question even more valid. You watch the show, you know what's going on. Given the fact that some of what happens in the show, we know that it's edited and pieced together to make a thing look like a thing that it really probably isn't in actuality. But for the most part, the behavior we've seen from Martel is the behavior that Martel betrays when he's backed up against the wall, when he's doing things that he's not supposed to be doing and he's caught, and the fact that he's been a serial cheater throughout his marriage, allegedly, is the fact that he's been a serial cheater since he's been married. So anyway, with that being said, I feel that Sheree's answer, in my opinion, is either one, because this storyline or the relationship between her and Martel is actually fake. And so, yeah, she watches the show, but, that was just a dig back at Tiffany because she can't tell the truth. Well, we're not really in a relationship. She couldn't really say that if that was the case, if that is the case. But second of all, maybe their relationship is true. It is a real relationship. I still feel that this was a defense mechanism. It was a deflection instead of, her just taking the question and answering it. She could have answered the question and said, hey, I am aware of his past reputation, but I've seen growth in him, et cetera, whatever her experience is of this man in their relationship, like I said, if it is real. Instead, she threw that jab back at Tiffany and she never answered the question. So it's either a deflection because the relationship is fake, or it's a deflection because she does feel some type of way and she is embarrassed being in this relationship with him, because I know her children had to ask her about it. I know other people, friends that she has outside of, maybe even outside of the ladies on Real Housewives of Atlanta, have probably questioned her about it, and most definitely the ladies on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So that's my first thought about that. And there were people saying, people are always commenting and saying how they feel, and I'd like to look at it just to get a perspective on everyone else's viewpoints, because maybe someone sees a thing different and it could shed some light on how I am currently seeing a thing. But I saw where people were saying, well, Tiffany never should have asked that question. Regardless, the guy's behavior afterwards is inexcusable. So what happens later is Tiffany goes and she tells her husband. Well, before that, the guys, Martell and Marceau, approach Tiffany and they question her about it and they ask her about it. And we don't see everything that happens in that segment. We'll see it in the season, but I'm just going based off of the little piece that we did see. And then Lou says to Tiffany, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to handle that, and there will be no backing down. So later on, a little later on, we see the guys, Lou, Martell, Marceau, Maurice, they're all talking about this situation. And, Lou is asking them, so you're going to my wife about a conversation that she had with another grown woman? And they go, yeah, yada, yada. And one thing that Marcel says that really stands out to me, he says, Tiffany should have got slapped. And I was like really appalled. And I was really disappointed that Carlos let this particular scene be shown, because it shows the misogyny in a big, big way coming from both men. And it was just crazy because I'm thinking, no matter what, she asked a question, it did not call for her getting slapped. And for Marceau to think that way, yet he's supposed to be this outstanding gentleman in the community. And just thinking about everything that Oprah said, when she was congratulating the cast and everything, she said that they were prominent business people. I'll give them this. They have all gone to college and they all are degreed individuals. But when it comes to common sense, in my opinion, they lack that in a big way. When it comes to social etiquette, they have none, in my opinion. When it comes to how I should conduct myself in public, or how I should conduct myself when I am in a situation where I don't agree with another individual, they don't know how to do that at all. It always seems to be so abrasive. And for Marceau to say something like that to Lou about his wife, to me, it just shows that he has no respect for women. And this is my opinion, and I'm sticking with my opinion. I can never see my husband saying something like that, or she should have got slapped. And to me, it's something that I could see a woman saying that to another woman. But yeah, I'm just like, and then Lou turns around and he asks Marceau, so you think it's okay that you went to my wife, so I'm going to go ahead and go to your wife. And then Marceau turns around and says, oh, you're not going to go to my wife. So I'm like, okay, so it's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for Lou to do it. And I'm like, oh, sit down, Marceau. I'm so done with you. And how anybody can do business with you going forward, especially seeing this particular scene and the way you felt about Tiffany, and your response that she should get slapped, and you felt comfortable approaching her. Yeah, I don't know. It speaks really loudly, and in not a good way. It's very, very, very telling of the type of person that Marceau really is, in my opinion. And then for Martell, to me, it's typical because he's always arguing with women. We saw him going after Miss Wanda, in the one scene when she and Mel were getting into it. And we just see how hyped up he gets with, how hyped up he would get with Melody in the past. And so this behavior coming from him is typical. Like, yeah, it's crazy. But to me, this whole scene was just not a good look. And it was something that I don't think Carlos could have really sat down and thought about it. He just saw the drama because, in my opinion, according to what Carlos actually said himself, he likes drama. So this type of behavior is something that he likes and something that he feeds off because he knows it would sell and they're all about the ratings. But again, it's just, it's very distasteful. And everything that this show was supposed to be about in the beginning, it's not giving that at all. So anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts about that because actually I've been sitting with it since yesterday and just thinking about it, and just, I'm actually disappointed, to be honest with you guys. So that's all I have for you for now. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell because I will be back. Until then, ciao.